Hello and welcome to yet another video. This is the fourth episode of the story, in which Naruto discovers a bracelet that allows him to wield the weapons and gear of legendary heroes while looking at the Forbidden Scroll. Naruto uses this power to become the ultimate ninja of the elemental nations. Please like and subscribe to show your support. Let's get the show started. The day of the Chunin exam finals has finally come. Many people of high status were arriving at the village and were heading towards the stadium along with the civilians and ninjas with excitement and expectancy to see the participants go up against each other in the tournament in order to become Chunin. In the Namikaze compound, Naruto had just woken up and was doing some stretches in order to get the kinks out of his bones. He looked out the window and saw a lot of people walking around. "Good morning, Kuchin and Chinamazan," thought Naruto. "Good morning Narukin," said Kurama happily. "Good morning Narutosama, I hope that you're well rested for the finals today," said Tsunade with a smile. "Of course, today's the day that I make my debut to the ninja world and I rip Neji a new one for hurting Hinata," said Naruto while performing some flips. "I'd better go and see how Hakuchin and Fuchan are doing." Naruto put on his clothes and gear before heading downstairs to the kitchen, but when he got there was no one in sight except a laid-out breakfast and a note on the table. Naruto walked over and picked up the note to read. "Naruto-kun, we went ahead of you to the stadium, but we left breakfast for you to eat. We'll meet up at the stadium so don't be late. Be sure to win and teach that Neji a lesson that he'll never forget. Also we took Tora-chan with us so don't worry about her." Haku and Fu. Naruto smiled warmly and went ahead to eat the breakfast, then he left the house but decided to take a detour by passing through the training grounds. He was walking through when he saw Hinata standing near the wooden posts. "Hinata-kun, what are you doing here? I thought that you would be with the other girls at the stadium," asked Naruto. "Oh and Naruto-kun, I just wanted to take a stroll before going to the stadium," said Hinata shyly. "I see, there's something I want to ask you about. What is it?" "It's about why Neji seems to hate you so much. He tried to kill you and would have done if the Jounins hadn't stopped him. I intend to inflict some serious pain for what he did," said Naruto with anger in his voice. Hinata looked a bit shaken before she stuttered out, Please don't hurt him too much, why shouldn't I?" "Because he wasn't always like that back then, everything changed during the incident with the hidden cloud." Then Hinata proceeded to tell him about how a peace treaty had reached the country of lightning, who sent an ambassador from the Hidden Cloud village to the Hidden Leaf in order to finalize it. But one night, someone infiltrated the Hyuga compound and abducted Hinata, though during his retreat he met Hayashi, who was on a nightly patrol. Hayashi immediately killed the ninja, but when he unveiled his identity it was none other than the ambassador who had just signed the treaty. Naruto burned with rage as he figured that they wanted to use her as a breeding tool for the Byakugan. Hinata continued saying that the Hidden Cloud village demanded compensation, having the one who killed their ambassador to be killed as well or there will be war. Not wanting that to come to pass, the Hidden Leaf agreed, but whom they offered was not Hayashi but his twin brother Hizashi, who was Neji's father from the branch family, as the caged bird seal would seal away the Byakugan, rendering the body as nothing more than an ordinary corpse. The blonde was silent for a minute until he finally spoke. "I can understand why Neji's so angry at the main family, but his reasons for attacking you isn't justified, so I'm still gonna deck him for hurting you, although not so much since you asked me so nicely." Hinata blushed bright red and twiddled her fingers shyly. Naruto was about to say more when they heard the fireworks going off. "The tournament is about to start Narutosama, you'll have to hurry over there or you'll get disqualified," said Tsunade, to which Naruto nodded in affirmation. He quickly channeled chakra to his bracelet and called out, "Ride the wing road," then the air treks appeared on his feet. Naruto skated over and picked up a blushing Hinata in a bridal carry. "Hold on tight as the Uzumaki Express transports you to your destination." Naruto sped towards the stadium at high speed while avoiding the civilians along the way. As he drew close to the location he created a shadow clone and passed Hinata to it. "I'll meet you with the others later." They both split up and Naruto headed towards the entrance to the arena. In the middle of the tunnel, Naruto made the air treks disappear and skidded on the ground until he stopped before the other competitors with Sakura smiling happily at him. I'm not late, am I? As troublesome as it is, no you're not, said Shikamaru. Naruto looked around and noticed that some of the competitors were absent amongst them. Hey, where's Sasuke and that sound Nin? I don't know, and it's gonna be a drag if they don't show up. All of you settle down and present yourself properly before the spectators, said the Chunin standing before them. Naruto looked up at the stands to see the crowds cheering out loud and smirked with excitement. This is it, girls, this is where we let the world know who we are, and we'll be with you all the way, Narukin, said Kurama. We'll always be by your side, said Tsunade. Earlier, before Naruto arrived at the stadium, most of the rookie genin had arrived. Ino had shown up with Choji, who carried a large bag full of potato chips and had just opened one of them and was munching away. Tenten was sitting elsewhere wearing regular clothes since she just came to spectate. Kiba and Akamaru also showed up and was sitting near Ino and Choji. Hiruzen was sitting at the Kage box with the Kazakage of the hidden sand village, who had been invited to watch the finals. Hayashi along with his daughter Hanabi were also among the crowd, although Hanabi was inwardly excited to see Naruto as she had come to really like him. Because of his playfulness. Everyone is here except Naruto-kun, Sasuke-kun and that sound ninja. Where could they be? Ino wondered, then she heard footsteps approach her and turned to see that it was Haku and Fu looking at her seriously. Naruto-kun told us what had happened back at the preliminaries, said Haku, to which Ino nodded meekly. Then tell us what you see Naruto-kun as, and we want the truth, said Fu. If she's like those villagers, then we'll be her worst enemies, said Chome. Ino thought back to when she spoke to Naruto during the 1 month of training. Flashback start at the top of the Hokage monument. Naruto had brought Ino and told her everything except his lineage and what had happened to Sakura. The female blonde stood there shocked over what she had been told. So the real reason why the villagers hated you wasn't because of your pranks but because they believed that you're the reincarnation of the Kyuubi? Asked Ino. Yes, they just couldn't get over their grief and decided to place the blame on me. That's what led to my dream to become Hokage, so that they'll see me for who I really am and my desire to protect them, said Naruto as he looked at the village from above. But then why would you always act so goofy and messing around so much if you wanted to be Hokage? Asked Ino, remembering how he acted back then. What you saw back then was me putting on a mask to hide my true feelings, as many would try to hinder my progress in the academy, but as time went on, my mask started to do more harm than good and I saw being a ninja as nothing more than fun and games. But before the graduation, I realized that I should remove the mask and start taking things much more seriously if I wanted to be a shinobi, which was why I looked and acted so differently. This my true self, said Naruto. Ino was silent as she knew what he meant. Belonging to a clan of mind walkers, she knows that one puts an emotional mask to hide their true feelings, and then she heard Naruto speak up again. Now that you know, what do you see me as? The fox in human skin, or the one who simply contains the fox? I won't rush you for an answer, so I'll wait for it. Just keep in mind that this is an Shrank's secret, so telling anyone will result in death, but a certain few know about it. With that said, Naruto turned and left for Ino to sort out her thoughts. Flashback end. Ever since then Ino had been thinking of an answer for when she saw Naruto again until she finally came upon one. She turned to Haku and Fu and gave her answer. I see Naruto for who he truly is, not what the others see him as, said Ino. Haku and Fu smiled happily upon hearing what she said. We're happy here that, and I'm sure Naruto and the others will feel the same way, said Hinata, who was coming down the stairs to meet them. Oh, Hinata-kun, you came, said Fu happily. Yes, Naruto had his clone drop me off while going to meet up with the others. Oh, there he is, said Haku. Pointing towards the arena, the rest turned to see Naruto skidding on the ground to the others' competitors. I can't wait to see how Naruto will fight in the rounds, said Chome excitedly. Me too, Cho-chan, thought Fu. Meanwhile at the Kage box, Hiruzen was talking to the Kazakage. It's good to see you again, Lord Kazakage, said Hiruzen with a smile. Indeed it is, Lord Hokage. I can see that you're still active despite the years. Shouldn't it be the time that you should think of choosing the next Hokage, said the Kage. Well, I may be old, but as long as I can move these old bones, I'll protect the hidden leaf to my very last breath. I see, said the Kage, who was staring at Hiruzen quite intensely before turning to face the arena below. Down at the arena, the proctor known as Genma Shiranui turned to face them and took out a piece of paper from his flak jacket and held it out for them. There has been a slight change in the matchups, so take a look and know who your opponent is. They took a look and noticed that the matchups are the same except that Shikamaru and Temari have an extra match with Sakura, which meant that Dosu was out of the finals. I guess I'll be facing either Shikamaru or Temari later on, thought Sakura. I'm still up against Neji, I wouldn't have it any other way, thought Naruto. Will you be going all out, Naruto-sama? Asked Tsunade. Definitely, the guys got it coming, but before we commence with the matches, we've got a program set up, so please vacate the area until it's over, said Genma. The genins left except Naruto, much to everyone's confusion. Then Genma turned to the blonde and smirked, steal the show, kid, and used the body flicker jutsu to leave. Naruto smirked back as he took out a scroll from his pouch, already planning to, then he unrolled the scroll and channeled chakra into the seal. There was a puff of smoke and it cleared to reveal a stage with Naruto holding a guitar and his clones behind a drum kit and another holding a flute. Alright guys, let's rock this. Then they started to play. Linkin Park, Nobody's Listening Yo. Peep the style and the kids checking for it. The number one question is, how could you ignore it and drop right back in the cut over basement tracks? Rap stack got you back in the sub-black rewind that we just rolling with the rhythm rise from the ashes of stylist division with these non-stop lyrics of life living not to be forgotten but still unforgiving. But in the meantime there are those who want to talk this and that, so I suppose that it gets to a point where feelings gotta get hurt and get dirty with the people spreading the dirt. It goes, tried to give you warning but everyone ignores me, told you everything loud and clear, but nobody's listening, called to you so clearly but you don't want to hear me, told you everything loud and clear, but nobody's listening. I got a heart full of pain, head full of stress, handful of anger, held in my chest. And everything left's a waste of time. I hate my rhymes. But hate everyone else's more. I'm riding on the back of this pressure, guessing that it's better. I can't keep myself together because all of this stress gave me something to write on. The pain gave me something I could set my sights on. I'll never forget the blood, sweat and tears, the uphill struggle over years, the fear and trash talking, and the people it was to, and the people that started it. Just like you, tried to give you warning but everyone ignores me, told you everything loud and clear, but nobody's listening, called to you so clearly but you don't want to hear me, told you everything loud and clear, but nobody's listening. I got a heart full of pain, head full of stress, handful of anger, held in my chest, uphill struggle, blood, sweat and tears, nothing to gain, everything to fear. Heart full of pain, head full of stress, handful of anger, held in my chest, uphill struggle, blood, sweat and tears, nothing to gain, everything to fear. Heart full of pain, tried to give you warning but everyone ignores me, told you everything loud and clear, but nobody's listening, called to you so clearly but you don't want to hear me, told you everything loud and clear, but nobody's listening. I got a heart full of pain, head full of stress, nobody's listening, handful of anger, held in my chest, nobody's listening, uphill struggle, blood, sweat and tears, nobody's listening, nothing to gain, everything to fear, nobody's listening. Song end. When they finished singing, the crowd cheered out loud and some of the older ones were able to understand the hidden message in the song. Thanks for listening to our song, or do you desire to have some more? The cheering got louder, then he turned to his clones and nodded. Then the clone switched his flute for another guitar. Alright then, you've got your wish. One okay, rock, no scared, gimme more. Gimme more. Gimme more. I wanna bring it back, we never carry on. I wanna bring it back. We never carry on, seize it somehow, only thing I lose. We hurry on, 'cause we are coming to the end. We hurry on, yeah, 'cause we are coming to the end. I know it's me, I could be one from millions. I never trust anything to survive. No, that's all, I'll be alright. No, that's why you take me back. No, that's the price I must pay. I've got to leave you, nothing to take anymore. No, that's all, I'll be alright. No, that's why you take me back. No, that's the price I must pay. No, scared to death with the burning blue flame we are. Can you reach out? Reach out? Shout it out. Shout it out. Shout it out. Shout it out. Seize it somehow, only thing I lose we hurry on, yeah. 'Cause we are coming to the end we hurry on, yeah. 'Cause we are coming to the end I know it's me I could be one from millions I never trust anything to survive no that's all, I'll be alright no that's why. You take me back no that's the price I must pay. I've got to leave you nothing to take anymore no that's all, I'll be alright no that's why you take me back no that's the price I must pay. No scared to death with the burning blue flame we are I wanna bring it back, we never carry on seize it somehow, only thing I lose yeah, we hurry on, I could be one from millions touch it, don't you know it's just begun watch it, make me feel like the man break it. We can't leave it undone kill the sound, you are maybe alive what do we forgot? No. On my own no. On my own I've got to leave you nothing to take anymore no that's all, I'll be alright no that's why you take me back no that's the price I must pay. Now moving closer to the blue flame we are. No that's all, I'll be alright no that's why you take me back no that's the price I must pay. I've got to leave you nothing to take anymore no that's all, I'll be alright no that's why you take me back no that's the price I must pay. No scared to death with the burning blue flame we are. We are. Song end after his clones dispelled, Naruto slammed a palm on the stage and there a puff of smoke to reveal a scroll in his hands. Whoever thought that Naruto could sing so well, said Fu. Chome was cheering Naruto from the mindscape when he was singing. Naruto-kun could sing Fu-chan, he sang for the children at the orphanage when we were at the Land of Waves. We'll have to get him to sing for us sometime, said Haku, getting nods of agreement from the others. You gotta love Fuinjutsu, Naruto smirked as Genma reappeared before him and Neji came down from the competitor's box. That was a sweet performance, but let's get things going. The match between will now begin. Neji took the Juken stance and sneered at Naruto, you might as well give up, fate has decreed that I will win this match, sorry to disappoint you, but I've come too far to just give up plus I've got a debt to collect, said Naruto as he started bouncing on the tips of his toes. A debt? Surely you haven't forgotten that you have to pay for hurting Hinata-kun, we'll see about that, I can't wait to see the look of despair when I prove to you that fate cannot be defied, cut the chit-chat and let's into the fight, music start, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep OST, unforgettable Naruto quickly launched a couple of kunai at Neji and dashed in a zigzag pattern, but Neji caught one of the kunai and used it to deflect the others before Naruto got to him. What is he doing? It's too risky to go up close with a Hyuga, said Kiba who was expecting Naruto to attack from a distance. That is under normal circumstances, but you shouldn't underestimate Naruto either, don't forget that he was able to defeat you back then, said Haku. Naruto aimed a fist towards Neji's face but it was parried to the side so he put a palm on the ground and did a handstand and flipped away. He went with a palm thrust only for Neji to parry it again but he was ready this time as he adjusted his arm and slammed an elbow into the Hyuga's chest much to his shock, knocking him back and performed a flying kick to send him further away. This irritated Neji as he charged at Naruto who switched to the praying mantis stance and started attacking. Naruto was deflecting the attacks as they came at him but a few were able to graze him then he quickly had to jump back and use teleport to build some distance from Neji. As you can see and feel, there's no way that you can beat me and defy fate, said Neji. Naruto simply smirked at him and stretched his body a bit. Then I might as well shift things into high gear. Naruto crossed the middle and index finger of his hands together, Shadow Clone Jutsu, then 4 of his clones appeared and took different stances, some which are the same. Alright guys, let's get to it. Roger boss, the clones replied before charging at the Hyuga. That's a pretty smart move from Naruto, said Haku. What do you mean? Asked Ino. The Byakugan can see the chakra and its circulatory system and since Naruto has evenly distributed his chakra to all of his clones, Neji won't be able to tell who the original is, said Hinata. But then he has to be careful since it only takes one hit to dispel a shadow clone, said Fu worriedly. Don't worry Fu-chan, Naruto has Kurama-ne-chan to help him win, said Chome to assure her container. The first of the clones had reached Neji and engaged him in close combat while using the praying mantis style. Another clone appeared in midair and charged in with a dive kick. Neji saw the attack coming and grabbed the clone with the intentions of using it as a shield, but the attacking clone saw this and dispelled itself at the last second, which surprised Neji, giving the grabbed clone the opportunity to break free from Neji's grip and throw him across the field. Neji righted himself in midair and was about to land when a clone blurred in front him and grabbed his collar. Gotcha, and started getting punched in the face repeatedly before being thrown again. Wow, the kid's got good coordination with his shadow clones. I guess he figured that he should fight from a distance, said Asuma while lighting up another cigarette. That is for any regular shinobi, but my time as Naruto's sensei has taught me that he has a different way of dealing with things like this. You just keep on watching, said Kurenai with pride. Neji was busy defending himself against the clones that kept attacking from different directions. Then he suddenly smirked. Your strategy is quite flawed. Then he quickly dashed through the clones before slamming a palm into a particular Naruto which didn't dispel. I figured that the one that doesn't attack would be the real one. The other clones started to dispel as if to confirm Neji's theory, but Naruto simply snickered at him. *BZZZT** wrong. Boss wouldn't use an obvious strategy like that, said Naruto, with a smirk before disappearing in a puff of smoke much to Neji's shock. He quickly turned around to see Naruto with 3 of his clones attacking from different directions. Flying kick. Bicycle kick. Dive kick. Shadow kick. When it looked like the attacks would connect, Neji started spinning on his axis while releasing chakra from his body to form a spinning dome. Naruto and his clones got knocked back, forcefully dispelling them, and he skidded backwards. What was that technique? It's almost like Kung Lao's spin but much different, Naruto wondered as he winced from the injuries that he got from it. Father, isn't that? Asked Hanabi. Yes, that's the 8 trigrams palm rotation, but how? Only the main family knew that technique, said Hayashi. Hanabi along with the other girls looked at the battle worriedly as they wondered what Naruto will do now. Since he'll use that when I come in close, let's try a different approach. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto creating some more clones and they started going several hand signs. Fire style, grand fireball. Lighting style, lighting bolt. Wind style, air bullet. As the jutsus were about to hit Neji, he quickly spun again to deflect every single one of them. Right as the dome went down, Naruto teleported in front of Neji and performed a roundhouse kick, but the Hyuga ducked under the attack and landed a palm strike his chest, causing Naruto to stumble backwards. I have you right where I want you, you're within range of my 8 trigrams, said Neji. Then he took certain stance which was instantly recognized by the Hyuga members. What kind of stance is that? Asked Kiba. It was Hinata that answered with a shaken voice. That's a technique along with the rotation that's only known by the members of the main family. If Neji knows how to perform it, then Naruto-kun is in trouble. Gentle fist art, 8 trigrams 64 palms. Neji dashed forward and struck Naruto, 2 palms. He could feel his chakra stop flowing at where he was hit and tried to retreat, but Neji kept up the assault. 4 palms. 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. 64 palms. Naruto was sent tumbling from the force of the attacks while Hinata and the others looked on with worry. Damn, he got me. I can't feel my chakra throughout my body. Naruto-sama, all of your chakra points have been closed from that technique, said Tsunade. Kuchin, I'll need your chakra to force open my chakra points, thought Naruto as he struggled to his feet. Okay Naruto-kun, just say the word and I'll do it, said Kurama. For him to be able to perform that technique without being taught, you would have been proud of him, brother, thought Hayashi. Come Naruto-kun, you can't give up now, thought Tenten. It's best that you give up. I've struck all your chakra points so you can use your jutsus. You've lost just like fate has. Foretold, said Neji with a sneer. Sorry, but you still have a debt to pay, and besides I totally suck when it comes to giving up, said Naruto. Why do you defy fate? Unlike you, I walk my own path and won't let anyone tell me what to do. I've been told about what happened to your father, but all I can see is that you're using fate like a crutch, something I intend to fix. What do you possibly know? How could you know how it feels to be cursed with a mark, one that can never be removed? Shouted Neji. Naruto and Fu clenched their fist while their tenants felt depressed. Gaia, however, was indifferent, although she lightly glared at Neji. Believe me when I say that I do know how it feels, more than you ever had or will. Which is why I can't afford to lose to someone like you. Naruto declared as he faced Neji. Kuchin, do it. Okay Naruto-kun, said Kurama. Then she sent her chakra through Naruto's body and Neji was shocked to see red chakra flow through Naruto's chakra circulatory system, reopen his chakra points. How could this be? I closed all of your chakra points. I'd rather you worry about what's going to happen next, said Naruto. Then he raised his hand to reveal the bracelet, which made everyone that knew about it smile. Looks like Naruto is finally going to use it, thought Haku. Neji's in for it now, thought Fu with glee. Go for it Naruto, shouted Chomei happily. That's right Naruto-kun, you still have that, thought Tenten. You're about to make your presence known in the shinobi world, Hiruzen thought fondly, not noticing that the Kazekage was staring quite intensely at Naruto as he brought out the bracelet. You're about to see what makes me proud of my student, said Kurenai, drawing Asuma's attention. Naruto channeled chakra into the bracelet and called out, Reborn. There was a bright glow before it faded to reveal him wearing a pair of red gloves with orange cross and flames designs at the base with a silver ring at the index finger on the right hand. He is also seen wearing a pair of headphones at his ears and orange contacts on his eyes plus a leg bangle on his left leg. Get ready to lose to my dying will, shouted Naruto as a tongue of flame appeared on his forehead before he charged at Neji. As Neji was attacking, he noticed that whatever attack that he launches Naruto would react to them and counter accordingly, almost as if he was a Sharingan user. He blocked a punch but then noticed that Naruto was smirking. That's a bad move for you. The gloves ignited into flames, forcing Neji to jump back and discard the bandages from his right hand. Naruto dashed at Neji and tried to launch a fiery punch at the Hyuga, but a rotation deflected the attack and tossed him into the air. Naruto quickly flipped in midair and then shot out flames from the gloves, which made him hover in the air. Whoa, Naruto's flying. That's pretty cool, man, said Kiba with Akamaru barking in agreement. Naruto performed a nosedive to the ground and straight towards Neji, who performed another rotation, but Naruto had planned for it as he sped around the spinning chakra dome, forming a ring of fire. Stream, then he ascended to the sky forming a blazing tornado. Neji jumped out of the flames and rolled on the ground to put out the fire on his clothes. I will not lose to you. Gentle fist art, 8 trigrams 64 palms. Neji charged in to use the technique again, then Naruto lit up the gloves in flames again, focused on Neji as he attacked. 2 palms, the first 2 strikes were blocked. 4 palms. 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. 64 palms. Throughout the assault Naruto had deflected all of the palm strikes and then punched Neji in the chest, sending him skidding backwards. How could you possibly block all my attacks? Shouted Neji. It's an ability that comes with these gloves called hyper-intuition, which removes the limiters of my mind and releases my hidden awareness. That was why I could block your attacks, I could sense them coming, said Naruto. I don't care. Fate has decreed me the winner, I won't lose. Neji lost all sense of reason and charged in blindly. Naruto shook his head and stood with his legs apart and reared his hand back as flames gathered around it and took the shape of a lion's head. It's over, Neji. Naruto slammed an blazing uppercut into Neji's chin, which propelled him into the air before he crashed into the ground and didn't get up. Naruto walked over to where the Hyuga laid and stared at him. Music end. How could I have lost? How could you have defied fate? Asked Neji. I've failed the exams in 3 times in row that I'm sure that you would have considered that as my fate, however it was thanks to those whom I consider precious that helped me be who I am now. Which is why I train hard to get stronger so that I can protect them. So let me ask you this, if a so-called dead last like me could defy fate, then what can a genius like you do? Said Naruto before he turned and walked, but he stopped. I wanted to seriously pummel you, but Hinata begged me not to, so you can consider your debt paid and have her to thank. Winner of the match, Naruto Uzumaki, said Genma Shiranui. Upon his announcement the crowd went crazy as they cheered loudly. The younger generation were amazed, with a few wishing to be ninjas as well, while the older generation were shocked and a bit fearful should they try anything to piss him off. That was totally serious. I feel kinda lucky that he didn't use it against me, said Kiba. Akamaru shivered at the thought of it. Naruto-kun, you're the best, shouted Fu happily. Yay, Naruto-kun won, said Chome, having sprouted wings from her back and was flying around happily. Naruto-kun, thank you, thought Hinata as she gazed at Naruto with love. You're so amazing, Naruto-kun, I can't wait to spend more time with you, thought Tenten. It's time that Neji receives your letter, brother, thought Hayashi as Hanabi looked happy at Naruto winning against Neji. When he entered the competitor's box, Naruto was met with a hug from Sakura, who was happy at seeing him win the match. Way to go, Naruto-kun, you beat Neji. Of course, Sakura-kun, was there any doubt, said Naruto with a foxy grin. You've really become more troublesome than ever before, Naruto, said Shikamaru with a small smile. Kankuro was looking wary, Shino was stoic as always, and Gaia was glaring at Naruto. As the tournament continued, Kankuro forfeited the match much to the crowd's annoyance. Then it was the match between Shikamaru and Temari. Shikamaru wanted to forfeit, but Naruto wouldn't have any of that, and so he kicked him into the arena. It was a match between Shadow and Wind. Although Shikamaru finally captured Temari, he forfeited the match due to low chakra. Naruto had to shake his head in amusement at the chronic laziness of his friend. Soon it came to the match between Sasuke and Gaia, but the Uchiha was still absent. The proctor was about to disqualify Sasuke when he arrived with Kakashi in a shower of leaves just at the last minute. As the match commenced, Sasuke surprised everyone by moving at speeds matching that of Lee's when he takes off his weights. After getting pummeled by high-speed attacks from the Uchiha, Gaia formed a sand dome around herself, and whenever Sasuke attempts to attack, the sand would produce spikes whenever he approaches. Then Sasuke climbed to the top of the stadium wall and went through some hand signs. Then Naruto and the others heard sounds of many birds chirping and saw lightning surging from Sasuke's hand. Guy, who had accompanied Lee to the stadium, explained to them that the jutsu that Sasuke is using is an erranked assassination technique belonging to Kakashi known as Chidori. Hearing this made Naruto watch the technique with interest. Sasuke ran down the wall and towards the dome, all the while picking up speeding, and was able to pierce through the sand and into Gaia's right shoulder, which led screaming out in pain and horror. Suddenly Sasuke was the one to scream out in pain as he gripped his arm and jumped back. An clawed arm made of sand covered with purple markings burst out before returning into the dome, much to everyone's surprise, and Naruto heard Kurama call out to him. Naruto-kun, I recognize that arm, it belongs to Shukaku-kun. It's like she's trying to take over Gaia's body, but it's definitely not like her at all, said Kurama worriedly. Then there's gotta be something else going on, thought Naruto. Then white feathers started falling from the sky and he felt sleepy, but a pulse from Kurama's chakra woke him up and he saw many ninjas either wearing a musical note or sand symbol on their, jumping around and fighting the leaf ninjas. What the heck is going on? Kakashi landed next to him. We're being invaded by the sand and sound villages. Naruto clenched his fists and the bracelet glowed a bit. Not on my watch. They won't. Naruto looked around the stadium and noticed that everyone was asleep from the effects of the genjutsu, except a few were able to dispel it. Naruto then felt something approach from behind and quickly teleported to appear behind a sound ninja. He wrapped his arms around the waist and performed a suplex which knocked the ninja out. That was a most youthful move, Naruto, said Guy with a good guy pose. Naruto and his tenants just had to sweat drop at the sight. Then Kakashi appeared next to them with Sakura by his side. Naruto-kun, he turned to see Haku and Fu running towards him. Naruto-kun, what's going on here? We're being invaded by both the sound and sand villages as far as I can tell, said Naruto looking at the sound ninjas standing before them. Naruto-kun, look over there. Naruto to see large four-sided purple barrier and within it he saw Hiruzen held at knife point by the Kazekage. What is the Kazekage doing with Gigi? Shouted Naruto angrily. Naruto, that's not the Kazekage, take another look, said Kakashi. Naruto looked more carefully and realized that it was Orochimaru underneath the robes. Orochimaru? What is he doing here? He must have been the one who orchestrated the invasion, said Kurama. Naruto and Sakura, I need you to release the genjutsu on Shikamaru for an important mission, said Kakashi. Sakura moved over to where Shikamaru laid and was about to perform the release when Naruto stopped her. Why did you stop me, Naruto-kun? I have a way to wake him up, said Naruto with a mischievous grin. Then he bent down and whispered into Shikamaru's ear, Oh Shikamaru, if you don't wake up, I'm gonna tell your mother that you've been pretending to sleep while the invasion has been going on. I wonder what kind of punishment she would have for you. Shikamaru instantly stood up with fear in his eyes. Naruto and his tenants were laughing at him. So you were pretending to be asleep this whole time? Shouted Sakura angrily. At first I found it to be a drag, but not anymore now that Naruto has brought the issue of my mom up, said Shikamaru shivering at the thought of a punishment. All of you listen up, I assigning to you a rank mission since the land of the waves. I want you, Sakura and Shikamaru to go after Sasuke. What happened to him? Asked Naruto. He's gone after Gaia and her siblings. I need you three to retrieve him before he goes in too deep. He's right, Naruto-kun, I'm sensing something strange with Gaia's seal and we need to stop it or the seal will break and release Shukaku-kun, said Kurama. Then what about us? Asked Haku with Fu wondering the same thing. I'll need you two to help the others guide the civilians to safety as we Jounins Nanbu fight them off, said Kakashi. In that case, I'll give you guys some backup, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto formed his signature hand sign and there was over 100 of his clones standing nearby. Okay guys, half of you will guide the civilians to safety and the other will run those sand and sound ninjas out of town. Are clear? SIR, yes SIR, the clones sped off with Haku and Fu following them. Please be careful Naruto-kun, said Fu before sprouting insect wings from her back and flying off. Naruto turned back to the others and nodded, okay guys, let's go, we don't have much time. Kakashi summoned Pakken to lead the way and then he took off with Sakura and Shikamaru following him. You think they'll be alright? Asked Guy as he took the Goken stance and faced the sound ninjas. I wouldn't worry about them, especially since Naruto is with them, everything will be just fine, Kakashi replied as he raised his headband to reveal his Sharingan. Let's show them the consequences of messing with the Hidden Leaf Village, as expected of my eternal rival. Let's the power of our youth, shouted Guy excitedly, making Kakashi sweat drop. Meanwhile Hiruzen was facing his former student who was grinning evilly at him. I never thought that I would fight you again Sarutobi sensei, said Orochimaru. So you planned all of this just to kill me, my dear former student, said Hiruzen. That's right, and not only that, I intend to completely destroy the Hidden Leaf Village. Orochimaru, I've regretted letting you go back then, but this time I intend to rectify that mistake. Hiruzen grabbed his robes and removed it to reveal him wearing his battle gear, and besides, a certain ninja would never let your plan succeed. Fighting me is futile. Soon I'll have the perfect body and finally achieve immortality. Then I might as well make you work for it. At the academy, in a field at the academy, Irika was protecting the kids from the sound ninjas who were currently invading the place. Konohamaru, get Moegi, Udon and the other kids out of here. It's too dangerous, shouted Irika as he held a kunai in a reverse grip. What better to cripple a ninja village than to destroy the younger generation? Kill them, at a sand ninja's command. The rest were about to rush in when someone jumped in between them whom Irika, Konohamaru, Moegi and Udon instantly recognized. I can't let you do that, I'm supposed to be their role model, said a familiar voice. Naruto/Naruto ni, shouted Irika and the kids at the same time. What's a kid like you doing here? One of the ninjas demanded. Isn't it obvious that I'm here to protect the kids and send you guys packing out of here? said Naruto with a quirked eyebrow as if asking, are you stupid? But Naruto, these are Chunin-level ninja, there's no way you can beat them all, said Iruka worriedly. Oh ye of little faith, surely you haven't forgotten that I've got an ace up my sleeve. Naruto raised his hand to reveal the bracelet, causing Iruka to realize what he's talking about. Hey kids, keep your eyes on me cause you're about to see something cool. Then Naruto channeled chakra into the bracelet and called out, Henshin. Henshin. There was a bright light before it faded to reveal Naruto as Kamen Rider Kabuto in his mask form. Then he took out the kunai gun and held it in axe mode and pointed it at them. Come at me, Naruto and the sound ninjas. Although he was a bit slower than them, he swung the axe at one of them only to miss and got hit with a kunai which created spark upon contact, but he quickly retaliated with a backhand which knocked one back and floated up with a shoulder charge. He twirled the weapon and held it in gun mode before blasting a few back, but they were still capable of battling. Niken, please be careful, shouted Konohamaru. Look, even the kids worry about you. Maybe if you remove some of that armor then you might stand a chance of beating us, one of the sound ninjas taunted. Too bad they couldn't see the blonde smirk behind the mask. You have a point there, I think I'll do just that. Cast off. Naruto flipped the horn on the belt buckle to the other side as the extra armor flew off and hit some of the ninjas to reveal a much sleeker form. Cast OFF change beetle. Naruto switched into kunai mode and dashed towards them with greater speeds. Iruka watched as the blonde now fought with even footing against the invaders as he knocked a few off their feet with a low sweep kick and sent another reeling in pain from a high kick. One tried to attack from behind but was knocked back with spinning kick. It's time for me to wrap this up, clock up. Naruto swiped the side of his belt. Clock up, from everyone's point of view seemingly disappeared, and the next thing they know is that the sound ninjas were getting pummeled from different directions, barely giving them any chance of putting up a defense. Wow, that's so fast, said Moegi. Yes, even faster than the fourth when he uses his Hiroshin, said Iruka as he looked on in wonder. That bracelet truly is a powerful weapon. I truly pity anyone who goes up against Naruto now. Clock over. Naruto appeared before them and started pressing the buttons on the belt buckle before flipping the horn again. 1, 2, 3, Rider Kick. Rider Kick. Naruto jumped high into the air as white lightning flowed from the belt buckle to his horn and then to his right leg, which he used to perform a flying side kick which created an explosion and severely wounded the sound ninjas when he made contact. Konohamaru ran towards Naruto as he walked out of the crater that he made with the Rider Kick. That was so cool, Niken, you moved so fast that they couldn't even blink. There is no time this Konohamaru, said Iruka. Iruka-sensei is right. We have to get the kids to safety. Put on, said Naruto as he flipped the horn again. Put on. Then the extra pieces of armor flew back and reattached themselves, reverting to his masked form. Naruto and the others ran into the academy to aid the other teachers. On the streets, why didn't Intel inform us that Zabuza Momochi has joined the Hidden Leaf? Shouted a sand ninja as he watched Zabuza slash one of them into half with his Kubikura Bocho. You punks have picked the wrong village to invade, especially since I live here now, shouted Zabuza as he cut down another one before slinging his Zanbatsu over his shoulder while glaring at them. He was about to engage them when he sensed someone land beside him and turned to see a familiar blonde hair. Hey kid, what brings you around here? The boss created us to protect and clean out the trash. I saw you fighting these guys and thought you use a tag partner, said Naruto. Zabuza smirked under his mask. All I can say is you're welcome to join in, there's a lot of these punks to go around. Naruto gave him a foxy grin and he stood next to him. Just let me get my big friend whom you're familiar with, the Final Fantasy. There was a bright glow and it faded to reveal Naruto holding the fusion sword which made the sand ninjas wary of him. Get the kid, he should be easier to kill, shouted one of them as the rest charged at Naruto. The blonde simply smirked and charged back at them as he started to hack and slash at them. Then Zabuza joined in the battle. Naruto performed a downward slash at a sand ninja, but it was avoided and the sword embedded itself in the ground and he couldn't pull it out hard enough. The ninja saw this as a golden opportunity and drew out a kunai to stab him in the back. "Kid, watch your back," shouted Zabuza as he was fighting the other ninjas. "Now you're dead, brat." Naruto saw him get closer and realized that he wouldn't be able to pull out the sword in time to defend himself even if he applies chakra to his arms. He reached above the hilt and ejected a side blade, then quickly turned around and slashed the ninja across the chest for blood to spill out and kicked him away. Naruto turned around and saw Zabuza surrounded by the sand ninjas, then he kicked the embedded blade which had loosened due to ejecting the side blade into the air and jumped after it. He caught the blade in midair and slot the side blade back into it before landing with his back to Zabuza in the middle of the group. "What are you waiting for? Let's attack them all at once," one of them shouted. "That might work if you could see us, hidden mist jutsu." Zabuza lifted one arm up with a half-ram hand sign and the other with same hand sign at his chest, and a thick mist covered the area. Sand ninjas frantically look around trying to locate the swordsman and the boy, then the next thing they heard were rapid footsteps, metal clanging, screams of agony and bodies falling to the ground. The mist cleared to reveal the dead bodies of the sand ninjas with Naruto and Zabuza standing there with blood on their clothes and blades. "You know that you're going to end up on the bingo book after this," said Zabuza. "Yeah, but when I think of the stories which I get to tell my kids after I retire, it doesn't seem so bad," said Naruto with a shrug of his shoulders. Then he turned to look behind. "Oh look, more assholes who want us dead. By the way, would you like to give the fusion sword a try?" Zabuza turned to see Naruto hold the blade out to him and smirked before holding out his zanbatsu. "That is, if you want to try out my Kubikurabocho, deal." After switching swords, Naruto and Zabuza turned around to engage the new group with smirks on their faces. Meanwhile, Pakken was leading Naruto and the others through the forest when he started sniffing around, which they noticed. "What is it?" asked Sakura. "We've got 2 squads following us, and according to their sense they are 9 ninjas following us," said Pakken. "Oh man, we don't have time for this, what a drag," said Shikamaru. Is there anything that won't be a drag for this boy?" Kurama asked with a twitch of her eyebrow. "I'll let you know when I find out," thought Naruto. And judging by the sense, they must be Orochimaru's men and are probably Jounin level. Normally I'd have said we'd set an ambush, but not only would be exhausted afterwards but we could be taken down if they figured out that we'd planned it, said Shikamaru. "Then what other options do we have?" asked Naruto. "Just one, a diversion that only looks like an ambush, so one of us will have to stay behind and slow them down. But the one who stays behind will probably die." Hearing this caused the group to stop. "So the question is, who's going to do it?" "The dog is needed to locate Sasuke, in that case." Naruto was about to volunteer when he was cut off. "It's gonna have to be me." "What?" "But Shikamaru, why you? It's too dangerous." Sakura protested. "It's better than all of us getting taken down, plus I'm the best guy for the job with my shadow possession jutsu, which was meant delay tactics, so you best get a move on," said Shikamaru. Sakura was about to protest again, but Naruto stopped her before moving towards Shikamaru. "I can understand what your plan is, but it won't hurt to have an ace in the hole." This caused the lazy Nara to quirk an eyebrow when Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder and the bracelet glowed brightly. Later on, the sound ninjas were tracking the footprints which were made by Naruto and the others. They were about to continue onwards when they suddenly felt like they couldn't move their bodies. "Sorry about that, normally I don't like to get involved in these kind of things, but I'm willing to make an exception this time since I don't want you guys to go after my friends." They turned to see Shikamaru standing behind with his hands crossed behind his back as his shadow were connected with theirs. "I can't believe that we got caught by a kid," said one of the sound ninjas. "This must be the shadow paralysis jutsu that we've heard about," said another. "You guys must be behind this since we don't go by that name anymore. The true name is shadow possession jutsu," said Shikamaru, he feeling his chakra waning as his shadow distorted from time to time. Since he hadn't fully recovered from the battle against Temari, he studied his enemies carefully before frowning a bit. "How come there's only 8? Pakken said that there's 9 unless one of them lagged behind so as to protect them against an ambush, in that case. Shikamaru reached into his pouch and threw out a handful of shuriken at the group only for them to be deflected by some kunai. He quickly traced them to a nearby tree and tried to stretch a shadow towards but it stopped halfway. Damn, I don't have enough chakra to stretch out another shadow, thought Shikamaru. Looks like you're at your limit, said the sound ninja as he felt himself along with the others able to move and saw the shadow retreat to Shikamaru. Hey, you can come out now, and when you do cut off his head. Shikamaru's arm twitched and there was a scream followed by a body landing, and the strange thing is that the head is missing. I guess that it was his head that was cut off, Shikamaru, although he was shaking from his first kill. The group tried to attack but they found that they couldn't move again. What's going on? Why can't we move when he's not using his shadow? Then they noticed something glint in the sunlight, wires, but how? Shikamaru gave them a lazy smile and brought his hand out from his back to reveal him wearing a glove with metal tips and thin wire threads running through it, with the majority of the wire being held in a large spool at the back of his waist. Naruto told that it's called cross-tail. Its wires are super strong, which makes it perfect for immobilizing enemies, but it can also be used for attacking and defending as well. As you can see, I had set up a trap before you guys showed up just in case something like this happened, and I was right. Then he noticed the sound ninja struggle with the wires. I advise that you stop struggling or the threads will only get tighter and you might lose something if you catch my drift. Then he heard someone land next to him and turned to see that it was his sensei Asuma. I see you've got things under control, said Asuma. And I have a troublesome blonde to thank for. I wonder if he can let me keep it since it makes things less troublesome for me, said Shikamaru. Then he turned to the direction which Naruto and the others have gone. You guys better not die on me. On a different street, a woman has her back against the wall of a building with her daughter in her arms while looking fearfully at a group of sound ninjas that were approaching her with lust in their eyes. Leave us alone, we didn't do anything to you, shouted the woman as her daughter hid her face in her mother's kimono. Hey, looks like someone who can give us a good time. Maybe we'll have some fun, said one of the sound ninjas as he reached out to grab the women. I don't think so, said a voice. Then the man felt someone grab his arm and cried out in pain as it was twisted so hard that it broke and then got punched in the face. Everyone turned to see a boy with blonde hair whom the woman recognized as the girl peeped out. Onaikan, who are you? Asked the girl curiously. Just your friendly neighborhood ninja here to save the day. Don't worry about these guys, I'll take care of them, especially him, said Naruto before glaring at the man with the broken arm. I think I'll need a tag team partner for this. Naruto bit his thumb hard enough to draw blood before going through a series of hand signs and slammed a palm on the ground, summoning jutsu. There was a puff of smoke before it cleared to reveal a small red bipedal dragon with blue eyes and a spiky mouth and of-shaped forehead. It wears green headphones around its ears, and the joints on its metallic body appear to be held by screws, and is holding a mic which is long enough to act as a staff. What kind of summon is that? Shouted one of the sound ninjas. The dragon looked at them with a toothy grin. You wanna know? I bet you wanna know. My name, that is. Give em your intro, buddy, shouted Naruto. I'm Shoutmon. The man who's gonna be king one day. You'd better make sure to carve it into your heart so you'll remember, the dragon declared. Let's take them down. Journey to the west. Naruto summoned the golden staff and next to Shoutmon in a ready stance. Let's do this. Rowdy rocker. Shoutmon charged and proceeded to attack them while wielding his mic as in Bojutsu, staff technique. Some of the sound ninjas hurled kunais at him, but Naruto jumped forward and spun the staff, which deflected all of them. Naruto, get out of the way, Soul Crusher. Shoutmon screamed into his mic, which released a blast of red energy which forced a few of them to jump into the air only for Naruto to jump after them. Naruto smash. Naruto made the staff lengthen before swinging around to slam them to the ground, which formed a crater. Then he landed next to Shoutmon, who held a hand out and fire gathered around it to take the form of a 8th note. Make it a home run, Rock Soul. Shoutmon tossed the fireball into the air, then Naruto held the staff like a baseball swung at it, which increased its speed towards the fallen sound ninjas, resulting in a fiery explosion. "Dude, I might be the next Babe Ruth with that kind of swing," Naruto joked before turning to the woman and the girl. "Are you okay?" "Yes, but why are you helping us?" asked the woman. She was one of the people who saw him as a demon that wanted to kill them. "If I can't protect the people of this village, then I have no right to even consider myself a potential for Hokage," said Naruto with a smile. "The same can be said for me if I aim to be the next Digimon King," said Shoutmon with a smirk. "Thank you for helping us, Niken," said the girl, holding her hand out to Naruto, which took and shook with a smile, and the woman felt ashamed for being so biased. Then they heard an explosion and turned to see giant snakes with red cloth around their necks rampaging through the village. "Shoutmon, get those two to safety while I can see if I make snake wallets of these guys." "Got it, Naruto." Shoutmon grabbed them and took off as Naruto used the staff to pole vault to a roof and bit his thumb and went through the hand signs again before slamming a palm on the ground. Summoning Jutsu, there was a puff of smoke and it cleared to reveal Naruto standing on the head of a large orange Tyrannosaurus Rex with spikes on its arms, shoulders and jaws with blue tips on them. It has blue stripes on its body and wears red training bracers and a brown helmet with 3 horns and multiple spikes with red stripes on it. "Yo Naruto, what's up?" asked the summon. "Yo Geogreymon, we've got some serpentine pest invading the village and I could use some help from my favorite orange partner," said Naruto. "Then you got the right Digimon for the job." Geogreymon turned to one of the serpents and got ready to attack. Mega Shot. He launched a blast of fire from his mouth which made connect, causing the snake to hiss in pain. Then he charged at it and slashed with his claws before turning around to slam his tail at the neck, powerful enough to break it. "How do you like that?" "Awesome, Geogreymon, but keep your guard up. One of its friends are coming over here," shouted Naruto. They turned around to see one of the snakes slither towards them. "I got this, Horn Impulse." Geogreymon lowered his head and charged forward and pierced its belly with his horns. Then he raised his head to fling the snake high into the air and turned with his mouth open, Mega Flame, and spewed flames enough to burn the snakes into ashes. The snakes realized the potential threat the new summon was and were about to attack when they heard a voice call out, "Summon Jutsu, bringing down the house." Then a large toad with 2 katanas appeared from above and landed on one of the snakes, crushing it. Then Naruto saw someone riding on it, and it was none other than Jiraiya. "Never fear, my fellow leaf ninjas, Jiraiya the Toad Sage is here," shouted Jiraiya while doing a kabuki pose. "It's about time you got here, pervy sage. I'm almost out of chakra and Gigi is fighting Snakey at the battle arena," shouted Naruto. "I see, then let's deal with the summons before we go help out the old man," said Jiraiya, to which Naruto nodded before they turned to face the remaining snakes. At the market district, several sand ninjas were dashing through the streets until they came to a stop when they saw someone standing in the middle of the road. It was a boy with blonde hair and whisker marks on his cheeks as he stood there with his arms crossed and was glaring at them. "What is a kid like you doing here? You wanna die or something?" one of the sand ninjas sneered at him. "You guys think that you could walk into our village and act like you own the place? Here's a news flash for ya, we don't take kindly to rude guests," said Naruto. "And what are you going to do about it?" taunted one of the ninjas. "Simple, kick you out of town, lock and load." Then there was a bright glow and it faded to reveal Naruto holding a machine gun in his hands. "You punks better take me seriously or I'll turn you into Swiss cheese." Naruto pulled the trigger and let loose a round of bullets at them. Some of the sand ninjas got hit, but the more experienced were able to dodge it thanks to their instincts and retaliated by throwing shurikens at the blonde. Naruto quickly dove to the ground and landed on his stomach and continued to fire, being able to land a headshot on one of them. He noticed a shadow growing over him and rolled to his back while switching to flamethrower, shot a stream of fire at the ninja who had snuck up behind him. Naruto bounced to his feet and ran behind some stacked wooden crates to use as cover. Then he started to charge the gun as yellow energy gathered at the muzzle. Then he jumped out and shot a giant ball of fire, but it missed them as they had dodged it and quickly moved in to attack. Naruto was forced to be defensive as he dodged the attacks from the sand ninjas. "Not so tough now, are you?" taunted one of the ninjas. "Damn, I need to take these guys out all at once," thought Naruto. Then he switched back to rapid fire and charged again. Then he kicked a sand ninja in the face and used it as a springboard to jump away. In midair he shot a pod which headed towards the sand ninjas, and Naruto quickly hid in an alley right as the pod started spinning and fired off rounds in all directions, killing the ninjas before they could react. Naruto peeked out of the alley to see the dead bodies and grimaced. Then he saw the giant toad and Geogramon attacking the snakes. "The others must be just as busy as I am, I'd better pick up the pace and do my job." Then he took off in search of more sand and sound ninjas to take down. Despite all this, the clones all shared the same thought: "We're doing our best out here, so you'd better do the same, boss." Meanwhile Naruto, Sakura and Pakken are racing towards where Sasuke is as fast as they can. "Sasuke, you'd better hold on, Gaia isn't someone you could handle even with the Sharingan," thought Naruto. "Naruto-sama, you may need to use some of the weapons in order to fight against Shukaku," said Tsunade. "Naruto-kun, you must hurry. I can feel Shukaku's chakra leaking out," said Kurama worriedly. "I got Kuchin, I'll hurry," thought Naruto as he moved faster. "Damn, what the heck is she?" thought Sasuke as he stared at Gaia, as half of her body was covered in sand and it has covered her hand in form of a claw. She was staring at him as if he's a piece of meat. Sasuke had been pursuing the sand siblings since they ran from the battle arena. Temari stayed behind to fight him but was defeated when he used a Chidori as a feint which made her throw some and replaced himself with a log which had an exploding note, knocking her away before he continued on his way. When he reached Kankuro and Gaia, Temari had caught up with them and it was Kankuru's turn to buy them. But that was when Shino arrived to fight Kankuro and let Sasuke continue his pursuit. But it was when he caught up that Gaia woke up and knocked Temari away forcefully. Then the right half of her body started to change. Afterward she started attacking with the ferocity of an animal. Sasuke tried to fight back but his was ineffective and the Sharingan wasn't making it any easier. He wanted to use the Chidori but hesitated as Kakashi had warned that he could only use it 3 times a day and the third time would only be half as effective and the cursed seal would take over. But when Gaia taunted him by saying that his reason for existing was pathetic, it enraged Sasuke to use the Chidori again to strike Gaia, but it was not enough to damage her and the cursed seal immediately activated and covered his body, paralyzing it in with pain. "Now die, Sasuke Uchiha, and let mother feast on your blood to prove my existence." Gaia leapt towards Sasuke with the sand claw stretched out to impale him. "Damn, this can't be the end for me. I can't die until I've killed Itachi and avenged my clan," thought Sasuke as he watched the claw draw close to him in slow motion when he heard a familiar voice. Flying kick. A foot slammed into Gaia's face which sent her flying back. Then a boy landed in front of him who was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. "Sorry we're late, Sasuke, we had to deal with stalkers and then had to take detour before we finally caught up with you," said Naruto with a foxy grin. "Humph, better late than never, dobe," said Sasuke through gritted teeth as the cursed seal pulsed through his body, making Naruto frown a bit. "I thought Gigi said that the seal has been dealt with," thought Naruto. "My guess is that Sasuke must have pushed his body too far for the cursed seal to take over," said Tsunade. "We can talk about that later, we need to focus on Gaia and Shukaku," said Kurama. Naruto nodded in affirmation as he turned to face the partially transformed Gaia before speaking to Sakura. "Sakura-kun, I need you to get Sasuke out of here." "What, but Naruto, it's too dangerous for you to face her alone, even with the bracelet," Sakura protested as she was worried about him. "Don't forget that our mission was to bring Sasuke back and that is our #1 priority, besides I think I've got her full attention," said Naruto as he looked at Gaia smiling sadistically at him. "Naruto Uzumaki, I've been waiting all this time so that I can fight to prove my existence and have mother feast on your blood," shouted Gaia. "Sakura, go now." "Okay, Naruto-kun, just please come back alive," said Sakura. Naruto turned and gave her a gentle smile. "I will, and that is a promise," Sakura smiled before she went to carry Sasuke and left, then Naruto turned around to face Gaia. I believe we should introduce ourselves before we battle as. I'm sure that it will be an unforgettable one. I am Gaia of the Sand, daughter of the 4th Kazekage and the Jinchuriki of Shukaku, said Gaia. Then Naruto took a stance and spoke up, and I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the 4th Hokage and Kushina Uzumaki and the Jinchuriki of Kurama. Nearby Temari was surprised to hear who Naruto truly was. He's the son of the Yellow Flash and a Jinchuriki? Then why isn't he bloodthirsty like Gaia? Music start. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep OST. Rage awakened. The origin Naruto performed some hand signs and launched the jutsu, fire style, Grand Fireball. A large ball of fire raced towards Gaia, who had her sand claw expand enough to form a shield around her to block the attack. I guess fire jutsu is out since it won't do a thing. You can't use water jutsu either since there's no source of water nearby, said Tsunade. Which only leaves you with wind and lightning jutsus to use against him. Naruto-kun, watch out, she's transforming again, said Kurama. Naruto watched as the sand spread over Gaia's body till only her legs were uncovered and a tail was formed. Naruto-kun, we have to stop her before she completes her transformation, so it's a race against time. These kind of things are never easy. Naruto leapt towards Gaia and formed a hand sign, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Then several clones appeared and charged in. Wind style, Sandstorm Devastation. Gaia took a deep breath with several mouths appearing on her body to do the same before releasing a powerful gust mixed with sand. The blast was powerful enough to sending Naruto and his clones flying back, dispelling them as well while Naruto crashed into a tree trunk. Fighting back the pain, Naruto performed some hand signs and took a deep breath, wind style, Great Breakthrough, before opening his mouth to release a power gust of his own to push back the sandstorm until they both dissipated. That's right, Uzumaki, fight me and make me feeling alive. Gaia crossed her arms, sand shuriken, and lashed out, releasing sand projectiles. Naruto quickly placed a hand on the hilt of Mume no Tamanu, Secret Arts. Quick drawl, he drew out the blade in a flash as the sand projectiles were slashed before returning to its sheath. He sped through some hand signs again, lightning style, lightning bolt, then held a palm towards Gaia as arcs of electricity shot of it. Gaia saw the incoming attack and stretched a claw towards a tree trunk to latch onto, then pulled herself over to avoid the jutsu and swung around like a slingshot and launched herself at Naruto with her claws bared. Naruto teleported away and reappeared on the trunk of a tree with chakra channeled to his feet to latch onto it. Then he saw many sand tendrils of sand racing towards from different directions. Naruto-kun, it's all over if the sand catches you, shouted Kurama. I know. Wind style, Typhoon Dance. Naruto jumped off and spun in the air and the wind gathered and swirled around him, preventing the sand from getting anywhere close to him. I'm surprised that he can defend himself against Gaia's attacks in that form, but it's useless if he can't break through her sand defense, thought Temari as she continued to watch the battle from a fair distance. Girls, I'm up for some suggestions. I can't get in close for the sand will crush me and attacking from a distance has no effect at all. So far I'm only using wind jutsus to defend against Gaia's sand attacks, thought Naruto as he continued to deflect the sand tendrils with a gale claw jutsu. Despite having one tail, Shukaku is known for her usage of sand to defend against any kind of jutsus, hence the name Absolute Defense. Her weakness is water jutsus since it will soak her sand and slow its movements, and lightning jutsus as they can pierce through her sand shields, said Kurama. But there's no water nearby for me to use and I've yet to ask Kakashi for lightning jutsus since I only know one which I created aside from the others plus won't be so effective. Naruto-sama, I've just gone through the archives and found a weapon that can help you against Gaia and I'm sending the information to you now, said Tsunade as she came running out of the library which Naruto had made for her to store the knowledge of the bracelet. Naruto felt the information flow into his mind before he placed a hand on the bracelet and channeled while calling out Gyusu Renkin. Then there was a flash of light before it faded to reveal Naruto holding a small and sleek lance. It has a dragon motif with teeth-like patterns and hexagons, although it closely resembles that of a sword. Unlike normal lances that are held with two hands, Naruto felt that it could be wielded with one hand. "How can that overgrown toothpick help you?" shouted Gaia as she launched another barrage of sand shuriken at the blonde. Naruto held out the lance and twirled it like a propeller as it deflected all of them before he held it with both hands and aimed it at partially transformed Jinchuriki. Sunlight Slasher. The tips and sides along with the end of the lance opened up to release yellow energy which quickly launched Naruto forwards. Gaia performed the sand devastation jutsu again to blow him back, but he simply pierced through it and kept on approaching. Tendrils of sand shot out of Gaia's sand body and wrapped around Naruto's limbs, then it proceeded to squeeze him tightly. Naruto aimed the lance at Gaia's chest and called out, "Expand." The lance opened up and stretched out with the tip heading towards Gaia, which forced her to throw him away right as the tip pierced her sand armor and almost reached her real body. Naruto flipped in midair and used the lance's energy propulsion to land safely on a tree branch. "Naruto-sama, channel your lightning chakra into the lance, it will increase its power," said Tsunade. Naruto did so and yellow lightning could be seen coursing through the lance. Naruto started swinging the lance repeatedly, which released lightning energy waves at Gaia, who used her arms to block them, but with each hit she could feel her body go numb. "Now's my chance." Shadow Clone Jutsu. The clones appeared and dashed towards Gaia while channeling lightning chakra to different parts of their bodies. Gaia was able to destroy the first clones that come to her, but she was struck by two clones that approached from below and was soon followed by the rest, with the sand being unstable as the electricity was messing with it. "I can't believe it, he's actually putting pressure on Gaia," thought Temari. Dai Uzumaki. Gaia lashed out with her claw, stretching it towards Naruto, who stabbed the lance into it and is trying to hold it back but was slowly getting pushed back. This is all or nothing. Sunlight Slasher, full blast lightning mode. The lance released energy far more than before and rocketed towards Gaia while splitting the sand claw. Right as he got close, he pulled away at the last second and slammed a powerful punch infused with lightning, sending her crashing to the ground. "Is it over?" Then he heard Gaia scream out loudly. "My existence will not be erased. There's no way I'll lose to someone like you." Music end. "Naruto-kun, you have to get out of there now," shouted Kurama. Naruto quickly used the lance to propel himself away. Right as a cloud of smoke appeared, he turned to see a huge silhouette behind the smoke, which cleared to reveal a giant raccoon completely made of sand and a long tail behind it. "Oh no, she has released its full form. It's not me for me to be here," thought Temari before leaping away. "If she's going big then I'll do the same." Summoning Jutsu. Naruto made the lance disappear before performing some hand signs and slamming his right palm on the ground. There was a puff of smoke before it faded to reveal Naruto standing on a giant toad with a scar across its left eye that was wearing a purple vest with a katana strapped to its side. "It's you, kid, what have you summoned me here for?" asked the toad. "Gamabunta, I summoned you here cause I need your help against the Shukaku," said Naruto pointing at the bijou. "You must be in a real jam. I'll help out, but next time we'll exchange a cup of sake to seal the deal. How about when I reach a legal age? Then I'll be glad to do so." "Then you've got yourself a deal." Music start. Kingdom Hearts 2. The encounter. Then Gamabunta drew his katana from its sheath while holding it in reverse and held it by his side. "Better hold on tight, kid, it's gonna be a bumpy ride," before he leapt at the sand raccoon. Shukaku lashed out a claw to attack the toad, but Gamabunta dodged at the last minute and swung his sword. "Take this." Toad blade cut. The blade sank into the bijou's arm, but he was forced to let go right as the arm was cut off and fell apart, with the sword stabbing into the ground with enough force to cause a minor quake. "Darn, his body was so heavy that I couldn't complete the cut. I'd better finish the battle." Then they noticed the sand shifting on the forehead of the Shukaku and saw Gaia emerge from it and sneer at them. "To push me to revealing this form, you truly are interesting, Naruto Uzumaki. I'll now show you the power of the sand spirit." Gaia formed a hand sign and called out, "Sleep Possum Jutsu," then she slumped over as she fell into slumber. "This is bad," said Gamabunta as he tensed. "What do you mean?" asked Naruto. From what I've heard, those who are the Jinchuriki for the Ichibi suffer from insomnia, as they would have their psyche slowly eaten by it until they lose sight of who they are should they ever fall asleep. Now that she has set that jutsu in motion, the Shukaku will be unleashed. They saw the eyes won the Shukaku focus in before it raised its head to the sky and scream. Oh yeah, I'm finally out. Now I can crush whatever the hell I want. That's Shukaku? Asked Naruto with a quirked eyebrow. That's not Shukakuken, I don't recognize the voice. It's as if it's a different person altogether, said Kurama as she watched through his senses. Kuchin, I have an idea and I'll need your help. Naruto sent his thoughts to them and they agreed to the idea. We'll need to somehow get close to her for it to work, said Tsunade. Kid, hang on, I gonna jump, said Gamabunta as he crouched while Naruto applied chakra to his feet to latch on. Shukaku's stomach bulged as it took in air, then it raised its claw and slammed onto it, wind style, air bullet. It opened its mouth and shot out a giant ball of wind. Gamabunta jumped high into the air and went through some hand signs, water style, liquid bullet, and shot a giant ball of water at Shukaku, who quickly shot another air bullet to cancel each other out. Gamabunta landed behind the bijou and leapt into the air again. Shukaku turned around and shot 3 consecutive air bullets while Gamabunta shot 2 liquid bullets back, but the third air was still inbound. Gamabunta, quickly direct your head towards the incoming attack. Despite being skeptical, Gamabunta did so. Then Naruto took a stance as a red rune with Siddha characters surrounded him and flames appeared on his hands. Ninpo, Art of the Inferno. Then he put them together and thrust forwards as he shot a giant fireball that clashed with the air bullet, resulting in an explosion. Good job, kid. Now all we need to do is wake that kid up in order to release that jutsu. Got it, said Naruto. Then Shukaku shot an air bullet, but Gamabunta dodged in midair and shot a liquid bullet, although Shukaku jumped back to avoid it, which resulted a splash of water. Then Gamabunta landed in front of Shukaku and grabbed him by the shoulders. Naruto was about move in when Shukaku shook off Gamabunta's, forcing him to jump back. Gamabunta, I can't get in close if you don't maintain a proper grip on him, shouted Naruto. Sorry kid, but my body lacks claws and fangs. Which is needed for that very purpose, said Gamabunta while in midair. Then what should we do? I suggest that you summon one of the Digimon that has what we need. Okay then Gamabunta, I'll catch you later. Good luck kid, and don't go dying on me before we have that cup of sake. Naruto leapt into the air as Gamabunta disappeared in a puff of smoke along with his blade and started going through hand signs as he descended towards the ground. What's the matter? Did the little toad turn tail and ran? Shouted Shukaku. On the contrary, I'm subbing him for someone who can put you in your place. Summoning jutsu, there was a puff of smoke and it faded to reveal a giant saber-toothed lion with yellow fur and red markings on its body, mane and tail. Thanks for lending me your chakra Kuchin, it's no problem at Naruto-kun. Now let's stop Shukakuken, said Kurama. Yo Naruto, looks like you need some help, said the summoned Digimon. You're right about that SaberLeomon, I need you to restrain Shukaku so that I can stop it, said Naruto. I got the gist of it, alright Naruto, here we go. SaberLeomon crouched low before dashing towards the Ichibi. Shukaku shot several air bullets, but SaberLeomon darted left and right to avoid the attacks before pouncing at the sand raccoon. Shukaku avoided the claw and swung its tail, which was evaded when SaberLeomon dashed backwards before leaping into the air to evade an air bullet. Naruto-kun, you must hurry, Shukaku's power will just keep on increasing, said Kurama. Let's step it up SaberLeomon, shouted Naruto. Got it Naruto, hang on tight, shouted SaberLeomon. Then he took off at a higher speed than before and was soon running in circles around the Shukaku till all what one could see are after images. Every time the sand raccoon launches an air bullet it would miss him completely. Then SaberLeomon came in from behind and lashed out with his claws, Howling Crusher, cutting off the remaining arm. No more air bullets for you, but I gotta that you don't cause any more problems. Twin Fong, the hairs on SaberLeomon's mane hardened before he dashed forward and tackled Shukaku. the bijou tried to retaliate by swinging its tail but its body wasn't able to move. Why the hell can't I move? I want to destroy more stuff, shouted Shukaku. SaberLeomon's twin Fang paralyzes his enemies upon contact, which is why you can't move, said Naruto. Then he turned to SaberLeomon, grab him now. SaberLeomon leapt forward and grabbed onto Shukaku with his claws digging into the skin. It's all you now, Naruto, go for it, said SaberLeomon. Then Naruto jumped off and landed on Shukaku's head. He quickly ran up to Gaia and placed a middle and index finger on her forehead. Music end, Kuchin, do it now. Kurama channeled her chakra through the hand and Naruto felt his conscience being transferred as he closed his eyes. Then he opened them to find himself standing in a desert with a night sky and a full moon out. I guess this is Gaia's mindscape. I'd better find Gaia and the real Shukaku before anything else happens. He was about to take off when he heard someone crying. Naruto trailed the source to a boulder and looked behind to see a little girl with red hair holding a teddy bear and was crying. Hey there, what's your name and why are you crying? The girl looked up in surprise before she replied, my name is Gaia, and I was crying because my mommy was scaring me and she wasn't like that before. I see, my name is Naruto Uzumaki and can you tell me where your mother is? Then Gaia pointed in a certain direction and Naruto turned to see a pyramid in the distance. She's in there along with someone else but she doesn't let me go near her. I understand, I'm going over there to find out what's going so you stay here where it's safe, okay? After receiving a nod of affirmation from the redhead, Naruto dashed off towards the pyramid. As he entered the pyramid and drew close to the main chamber, Naruto heard a masculine voice echo throughout the building. Where is that little brat? I was just about to destroy what's left of her psyche in order to take over her body when she ran off. Hearing this angered Naruto as he stepped into the chamber and came face to face with a man of tan complexion, bald hair, wearing some sort of priest clothes and bears black tattoos across his face. Who the hell are you? I am Naruto Uzumaki. Now the question is who you are and what you are doing in Gaia's mindscape, said Naruto as he glared at the man. I am Kazar the Mad Priest. I used to be the Jinchuriki of the Shukaku until they sealed it into a tea kettle but they were unaware that my spirit was sealed as well. Ever since I was sealed into this girl, I would influence her by pretending to be her mother while eating away her psyche bit by bit until I eventually take control of her body and the power of the Shukaku, said the man with a crazed look on his face. So you're the reason why Gaia has been so unstable. I'm not gonna let you continue to control Gaia or Shukaku, said Naruto as he drew Tsukiyotoshi from its sheath. I've come too far to be stopped by a brat like you, shouted Kazar as he drew out scimitar and took a stance. Music start. Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days OST. Fight. In a way they both dashed towards each other and proceeded to clash blades with equal speed and skills. Despite Tsukiyotoshi being a heavy blade, Naruto was able to use it to the seemingly wild strikes from Kazar and fight back. Kazar was no slouch either as he could wield the scimitar with one hand in spite of it being normally a two-handed sword. Naruto slid on the ground with his blade forward to slash Kazar's but the mad priest jumped into the air and come down as he attempted to cleave Naruto in half. The blonde rolled to the side leaving the sword to hit the ground, then he came back with slash and was blocked by Kazar's sword, receiving a punch in return. Kazar came in with an overhead slash and Naruto raised his blade horizontally to block until he noticed that the scimitar was glowing. The blade broke through the Muramasa and slashed him across the chest. Damn it, shouted Naruto as he jumped away from Kazar with a hand on his chest to stop the bleeding while holding the broken Muramasa in the other. This guy's tough and nuts. Once I'm through with you, I will destroy that Gaia and finally achieve the Bijou's power to destroy everything. Kazar laughed maniacally. And I told you that I won't let you do this. You don't belong here, so I'm gonna give you the boot, shouted Naruto as he sheathed the broken Tsukiyotoshi and drew out Mume no Tamino before charging the mad priest with fire in his eyes. Naruto moved in once again and this time was attacking with everything he got, forcing Kazar to be in the defensive. The mad priest launched a one-handed slash but Naruto blocked the sword to the side and jabbed the butt end of the Muramasa into his gut, making him stumble backwards. Naruto kept up the offense as he grabbed Kazar's head with his free hand and drove it into his knee, then he flipped over him and slashed his back as blood spurted out. "Damn you brat, why don't you die already?" shouted Kazar as he charged at Naruto in frenzy. Naruto then stood with his legs apart and crouched slightly with the Mume no Tamanu held in front of him. Secret arts, betting slash, then he stepped forward with the raised and brought it down right as Kazar tried to block the attack, but he sliced through the blade and across his chest. An eye for an eye, and here's the interest. Secret arts, running slash 3x. Naruto sent him into the air with an uppercut, then leapt after him and started slashing him while dashing left and right in midair. He positioned himself over Kazar, then he stabbed the blade through him and landed below. "It's all over, you nutty priest, now get out of here, you have an appointment with the Shinigami," said Naruto as he watched Kazar fade away while screaming in agony. He noticed someone peek out from the passageway and noticed that she was crying. Music end. "Who was that man and what happened to mommy?" asked the frightened girl. Naruto walked over and placed a hand over her shoulder as he went down on one knee. "The truth is that man had been pretending to be your mother and tricked you into hurting those people, but you won't have to worry about him anymore as I've sent him away for good," said Naruto. Then he saw Gaia cry again. "Why are you crying?" "It's because he told me that I didn't need anyone, not even my brother and sister. They don't even want to come near me again and I feel so lonely without anyone to be my friend. If that's the problem, then I can solve it by being your friend," said Naruto. Gaia looked at him with surprise and hope. "Really? Are you sure?" "Definitely, and I know there's someone else who wants to be your friend, but that man was preventing you from seeing her. Now let's go and meet her." Naruto held out a hand to Gaia, and as she took it, she changed into her older form. Then they walked deeper into the pyramid until they came upon a double door which was locked with thick chains. "Gaia-chan, stand back so that I'll open it." Gaia stepped back and watched as Naruto placed a hand on the hilt of Mume no Tamanu. Then there was a flicker of movement, then the chains broke in pieces when Naruto sheathed the blade with a click. They pushed open the gate and looked inside to see a girl sitting in her knees brought up to her stomach and her head down, but could see two small perky ears on top of brown hair. She raised her head to reveal black rings covering her eyes similar to Gaia. "Who are you?" asked the girl shyly. Kachan was right, she's quite shy. I'm sure she would get along with Hinata, thought Naruto. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki and this is Gaia. We came here to free you after taking care Kazar." "You mean that man is gone?" asked Shukaku, receiving nods of confirmation from the two before smiling. "Thank you, and my name is Shukaku. It's nice to meet you, Shukaku. I hope that we can be friends," said Gaia with smile, and received a smile in return from the shy raccoon. "All's well that ends well, I'll see you on the outside," said Naruto as he faded away from Gaia's mindscape. When he opened his eyes, Naruto saw that he was still on the Shukaku. Gaia was awake and looked around confusedly until she saw Naruto and smiled happily. Then the sand started crumbling and Naruto quickly ran to grab Gaia in a bridal carry and jumped off to land on SaberLeomon's head. "Whatever you did, Naruto, it worked. I'm heading back, so I'll catch you later," said SaberLeomon after he lowered his head for them to get off before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Then Naruto heard Kurama call out to him from his mindscape. "Naruto-kun, are you okay?" asked Kurama worriedly. "I'm fine, Kachan, and I was able to free Shukaku from the influence of a spirit. I'll tell you later about it," thought Naruto. "Kuramani-chan, is that you?" asked Shukaku. "Shukaku, I'm so glad you're okay now. It's thanks to Naruto and Gaia-chan," said Shukaku happily when mentioning Naruto's name. Then Naruto sensed two people land before and saw Kankuro and Temari look as they want to fight if Gaia hadn't spoken up. "Kankuruni-I, Temari-chan, please don't attack him, he helped me." The Sand siblings looked shocked at how their younger sister spoke to them without malice. "Are you okay, Gaia?" asked Temari as she glanced at the blonde. "I'm completely fine now, let's go home." "All right then, we'll be going now," said Kankuro. Before they left, Gaia turned and waved at Naruto. "Bye, Naruto-kun, I hope that we meet again." Then they left Naruto as waved back at them. "Bye-bye, Naruto-kun," said Shukaku shyly. Well, I'd better get back help the others out. I hope Gigi's okay, said Naruto as leapt through the trees towards the Hidden Leaf village. Damn Saratobi Sensei and that blonde brat, they'll both pay for ruining my plans, ranted Orochimaru as he retreated from the village with both his arms looking rotten. Kabuto and the other elite members of the Sound Ninja kept silent to avoid incurring their master's wrath. 2 days after the invasion by the Hidden Sand and Sound village, everyone had gathered at the top of the Hokage Tower to hold a memorial for the shinobi who were killed during the attack. Naruto and the others were present while dressed in black except Hiruzen, who was currently recovering from his fight with Orochimaru. That snake is gonna pay for this. What we did to him earlier was nothing more than a slap on the wrist, said Naruto with clenched fists. Hinata and Fu held his hands to coax him while Kurama and Chome tried to comfort him. You aren't the only one, kid. His greed will destroy people's lives just to get what he wants, said Jiraiya as he walked up to their side. How's Gigi? Old monkey's recovering nicely. Doctors say that he'll be fully healed in a few weeks' time. Until then we'll have to be putting up repairs. As time went on, the village underwent repairs with some help from Naruto's clones. Tsunade and his crew also came to help after hearing what had happened. Inari also came along wanting to see his big brother again. He also met Konohamaru, Moegi and Udon and got along with them nicely. One day after training with Haku and Fu, Naruto went to Ichiraku's to have a bowl of ramen. Naruto happily called out to them once he reached the entrance. Old man Tucci, I am Aniken, I'd like a bowl of miso pork ramen. Naruto, it's been a while since we last saw you. Where have you been? Asked Tucci as he started on the noodles. I've been helping out with the repairs around the village, plus I've been training as well to be ready for anything, said Naruto as he took seat on one of the chairs. That's nice of you, but I wish that you visit us more often, said Iam, placing the bowl of ramen before Naruto. Okay, I'll be sure to visit more often with the others, said Naruto, taking a pair of chopsticks and was about to eat when an Anbu wearing a boar mask. Naruto Uzumaki, Lord Hokage wishes to meet you at the hospital, said the ninja. Arg, talk about bad timing. Okay, I'll head over there soon. The Anbu nodded before using the body flicker jutsu to disappear. Naruto turned to Tucci and Iam. Gigi's calling for me, but I'll be back soon. Later on, Naruto entered the hospital and with directions from the nurse at the counter found the room where Hiruzen was resting. Naruto entered the room to see Hiruzen on the bed with Koharu, Hamura and Jiraiya, who is sitting on the window sill. Hey Gigi, I was told that you wanted to see me, said Naruto with smile. Naruto, yes, I sought for you and Jiraiya to discuss something important, said Hiruzen. I've decided to retire from being Hokage. Hearing this surprised both of them. But why, Gigi, why do you want to retire? Asked Naruto. This attack on the village and my fight with Orochimaru has made me realize that age has finally caught up with me. I would have died if you hadn't given me that scroll, and the village needs a new Hokage to watch over it. They thought back to what happened on the invasion. Flashback start. Damn it, this doesn't look good, Hiruzen muttered to himself as he glared at Orochimaru standing before him with an evil smile. During the battle, he was at a stalemate with his former student until he used a forbidden jutsu called the Impure Soul Resurrection to summon the first and second Hokage to summon from the dead. Then he put them under his control. Since then things took a turn for the worst as Hiruzen struggled against 3 opponents, especially when the first Hokage used his wood-style jutsu to create a forest in the barrier. Then Hiruzen summoned Enma of the Monkey Summons to transform into the adamantine Nioi staff to help even the odds. Orochimaru took out the grass long sword, or Kusanagi in other words, and charged at him to engage in close combat. The former Kages attacked as well, but Hiruzen dodged them while attaching explosive tags on them and triggered it to explode. However, they were able to regenerate the lost limbs and proceeded to attack, which brings us to where he was kneeling on the ground and panting in exhaustion. What's the matter, Saratobi Sensei? Are you all out of breath? To think you used to be one of the greatest shinobi in history and now look at you, you're nothing but a puny old man and there's no one to save you now, said Orochimaru with an evil smirk. He's right, as long as he holds their souls on the earth with his will I can't kill them. And if I perform that jutsu which Minato used to seal the Kyuubi into Naruto, the Shinigami will take my soul. Hiruzen remembered something and pulled out a scroll from his pouch and looked at it. I recall Naruto giving this to me, saying that I should open it when in a pinch. Well, this is a pinch, so I guess I should open it. Hiruzen unrolled the scroll to reveal a seal which released a puff of smoke, then it cleared for everyone to see Naruto standing there with a smirk on his before he turned to talk to Hiruzen. Hey Gigi, I'm here to help you, Naruto. What are you doing here? Asked Hiruzen confusedly. Actually, I'm a special shadow clone that the boss made with the help of the pervy sage. He sealed me in the scroll to be used in certain situations like these. Then he turned to face Orochimaru and the other Kages. So what are we dealing with here? Orochimaru used a forbidden jutsu to bring them back from the dead, and you can't kill them by normal means, so you must engage them with caution even if they only at half their power, said Hiruzen as he got up to stand next to the clone. Sorry Sarutobi, but the grass-long sword has done more damage than I thought. So I can't transform again, said Enma. You won't have to worry in Mazen, I have a good substitute for Gigi. Tag mode, Journey to the West. Naruto channeled chakra to the bracelet and placed a hand on Hiruzen. Then there was a bright glow which faded to reveal him holding the golden staff, much to Enma's surprise and Orochimaru's annoyance. Is that the legendary weapon of the Monkey King's son Ryukan? Asked Enma and received a nod in return. Then I hope you put down that snake for good. Then he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Gigi, you handle Snakey while I deal with the former Kages, said Naruto. Are you sure about this, Naruto? These are previous Kages of the Hidden Leaf Village even at half their power, said Hiruzen. Don't worry Gigi, I know that I can't beat them, but I know how to stop them. Hiruzen nodded before charging at Orochimaru while Naruto turned to face the Kages. I never thought that I would have to fight the founders of the Hidden Leaf, but I promise that you'll soon be free. Cut the heavenly moon. There was another glow of light which faded to reveal Naruto wielding an oversized kyber knife without a hilt and white cloth wrapped around the tang, and has a tall black blade with a silver edge. Naruto charged forward with the blade by his side to engage the two former Kages. The Naidame went through some hand signs and water started swirling around him, water style, tidal wave. The water turned into a giant wave and launched itself at Naruto, but the blonde raised the blade above his head as blue energy emitted from it, Jestuga Tensho, and brought it down to fire a wave of blue energy that went through the wave, splitting it into two and continued its course until it cut through the second's left arm and leg. Now's my chance. Naruto raced forward, but the Shodaime appeared to intercept. Naruto then grabbed the cloth, swung the sword around like a flail and launched it forward, which was easily dodged and embedded itself on the ground. The Shodaime quickly appeared before Naruto and lashed out a punch with instincts screaming at the clone to dodge it at all costs. Naruto jumped into the air and looked down to see a large crater. Then he turned to see the Naidame had almost finished healing and that the sword was nearby. He used the cloth in his hand to pull himself over to it. Upon landing, Naruto grabbed the blade and dashed over to the Naidame. Then he used the butt end of the sword to tap the forehead, which placed a symbol. The Naidame started to fade away in specks of light and he smiled at the blonde before he disappeared. What did you just do? Shouted Orochimaru as he fought against Hiruzen. This sword is the weapon of a Shinigami. It has the power to send a soul to the afterlife even if you had it under your control, said Naruto as he turned to face to the Shodaime, who approached with caution. I was able to free the second by taking him by surprise, but I don't think I can do the same for the first, so I'd better move to the next level. The Shodaime charged at him and threw punches that could shatter boulders, forcing Naruto on the defensive. Wood style, wooden dragon. A dragon made of wood sprouted from one of the trees and the Shodaime rode on it before racing towards Naruto. Jestuga Tensho. He fired another energy at the dragon, splitting it in half only to see that the Shodaime was nowhere in sight. Feeling a shift in the wind, Naruto sidestepped to the left just in time to avoid a punch which created another crater on the ground. Damn, a punch like that would have dispelled me even if I was created to take more than one hit. Time to level up. Awakening, Bankai. the blonde accessed Kurama's chakra which was stored in him, and there was a blast of energy powerful enough to send the Shodame flying back before it faded to reveal Naruto holding a black dado, Japanese long sword, with a crossguard having 4 prongs in the shape of a manji. It has a short length of chain with a link which dangles from the base of the hilt. Wood style, root entanglement. Several roots shot out from the ground and wrapped around Naruto up to the waist to keep him from moving. Then the Shodame sped through another series of hand signs, wood style, wooden spears, wooden stakes with sharpened points shot out from the trees from all directions and headed straight for the immobile blonde. Naruto. Hiruzen tried to move in to help the clone, but Orochimaru jumped in the way to obstruct him. As the projectiles drew close, Naruto's hand that held the blade blurred and black streaks could be seen as the wooden stakes and roots were sliced into pieces, much to the shock of the Shodame. "Don't blink or you might miss seeing my next move." Naruto took a step forward and immediately started darting in and out at speeds high enough to leave behind afterimages. Every time the Shodame used the root entanglement jutsu to try and catch him, a black streak would flash by and cut the plants down before they could fully emerge. "It's time to end this." Naruto dashed forward. Then the Shodame formed a wooden dome to defend, but Naruto stabbed the sword through it. The dome fell into pieces, which showed that Naruto had slashed it several times before stabbing the Shodame, who disappeared with a smile on his face. "Arg!" Naruto turned to see Hiruzen on the floor with a slash across his chest, and Orochimaru was about to finish him off. "Not gonna happen." Naruto dashed forward in a burst of speed and reappeared behind Orochimaru with the sword by his side. The snake turned back and smirked at hand. "A rookie mistake, weren't you supposed to have appeared before me to defend the old man? Now he'll die because of your foolishness," taunted the snake. Naruto turned around with a mischievous grin, and this is way professionals often lose to the rookies because they always underestimate their opponents. "You might want to take a look at yourself, particularly your arms." Upon hearing what the blonde said, Orochimaru noticed that he couldn't feel his arms and that the grass-long sword laid on the floor by his side. He looked to see that his arms looked rotten. "What did you do to my arms?" "If you were listening before, I'm wielding the blade of a Shinigami, which was why I could free the souls of the Hokages, or in this case cut off a piece of your soul, which is why your arms look that way," said Naruto with a smirk. "It's quite a fitting punishment for you, Orochimaru. With your arms disabled you can't use your precious jutsu," said Hiruzen with a weary smile as he held his chest to stop the blood from flowing out. "Damn you both, I swear I'll kill the both of you," shouted Orochimaru before turning to his squad. "We're retreating." They brought down the barrier and quickly carried him out before the ANBU could give chase. Naruto made the sword and staff disappear before he ran to Hiruzen with the ANBU running up to them. "Hang on Gigi, we'll get you help soon." Then later on, the clone dispelled to give the original information of what had happened when he was fighting the spirit-possessing Shukaku at the time. Flashback end. "Well, don't look at me, I can't be Hokage since I have my spy network to watch over, plus I can't stand doing paperwork," said Jiraiya with his hands raised up. "I second that, since he could probably make the hot springs co-ed," said Naruto while glaring at a scared Jiraiya. One time he tried to peep in the women's bath which Hinata, Fu, and Sakura were in at the time. It led to Naruto chasing the pervert with a machine gun before catching and bashed him with the Cooper cane. "He was our first choice, but then Hiruzen told us of another possible candidate for the Hokage seat," said Koharu. "Who would that be?" asked Naruto curiously. "One of the Sannin, Tsunade the Slug Princess," said Hamura. Jiraiya and Hiruzen braced for the incoming storm, and it came immediately. "Why would you want her to be Hokage after she just up and left me and the village?" shouted Naruto in anger. "Oh boy, Naruto beat me up for leaving him behind and forgave me after a while, but I wonder how Tsunade will get off the hook," thought Jiraiya with a shiver. "Tsunade is the best candidate out of all the rest, and she's also the granddaughter of the Shodame, which makes her the most suitable candidate among others," said Koharu. Not only that, the Hidden Sand Village have offered their complete surrender as they had found out that Orochimaru was the cause and is responsible for the death of their Kazekage, said Koharu. "Then the question is, where would we find her?" asked Naruto with a frown. You won't have to worry about that, Naruto. I can use my spy network to follow her trail. They wanted a squad of ANBU to escort me, but that would only alert Tsunade of our presence as well as slow things down a bit, said Jiraiya. Which is why I thought of having you join him, since you're capable for the mission. As well as you would want to meet your godmother, said Hiruzen. Oh, I want to meet her all right, just so I can hear her excuse for not being around, said Naruto as he crossed his arms with a frown on his face. Very well then, you are to set off once you've finished preparations, said Hiruzen. Naruto nodded in affirmation and left the room. You think that Tsunade can handle Naruto's anger? It kinda depends, but I'll be sure to tell you what happens when we get back, said Jiraiya before he jumped off the window to get himself ready. Naruto was at the Namikaze mansion getting himself geared up for the mission. Haku and Hinata were watching him pack and Tora was sleeping in the bed. How long will you be gone for this mission, Naruto-kun? Asked Haku. I don't know exactly, but I'm sure that it won't take too long. With Pervy Sage's spy network things would be a lot easier, said Naruto while sealing extra clothes into a scroll before putting it into his backpack. I hope that you return to us safely, said Hinata worriedly. Don't worry, Hinata-kun, I'll be fine. Then Naruto slung the bag onto his back and Tora jumped into his hood before heading towards the village gates to meet up with Jiraiya with the girls. Along the road, Naruto decided to ask, Hey Pervy Sage, how are we going to find her, as I'm sure that she doesn't stay at one place for too long. You won't have to worry about that, kid. I have a way of finding Tsunade with little effort, said Jiraiya with a knowing grin. What do you mean? Tsunade may be known for being one of the Sannin, but she goes by the title Legendary Sucker due to the fact she always loses when it comes to gambling, so that must mean that she's always on the run to escape debtors, right? Right on the money, kid. Our first stop is Otakuku Town, where we can stop to rest and get some information from the nearby casinos. Soon enough, the duo arrived at the town and found vacancy in one of the hotels. Then Jiraiya caught sight of a beautiful woman who stopped at the entrance, then she turned to face him with a sexy wink. This had Naruto blush a bit, much to the annoyance of Kurama, while Jiraiya was raring to go and flirt with her. Hey Naruto, why don't you take the keys to our room and wait there while I go and gather some information, said Jiraiya with a barely hidden perverted look on his face. Yeah right, you're just going to flirt with that lady, Naruto grumbled as he walked to their room with the bags. He's lucky that I can't come out of the seal. I would have ripped him a new one for his perversions, said Kurama with a tick mark on her head. It won't bug me much since we know that he's gonna get dumped eventually. Naruto had arrived at the room and settled down before writing a message to Hinata and the girls through the scroll similar to the one he gave to Inari, and Tora was taking a nap on the bed. He was writing reply to them when he heard someone knock at the door and got up to answer it while thinking that the Pervy Sage had gotten dumped by the girl. He almost grabbed the door knob when he heard Kurama call out to him alert, and Tora was hissing at whoever is behind the door. Naruto-kun, it's not Jiraiya that's behind the door but two people with high levels of chakra, with one of the having a level close to that of Shukaku-kun. Hearing this, Naruto unsealed the Muramasa blades as he opened the door and face to face with a man who looks just like Sasuke but taller and older, with his Sharingan have 3 tomos. Who is this guy and why does he look like Sasuke? Could they be related by any chance? Hang on, I remember that the entire Uchiha clan were massacred by one of their own with the exception of Sasuke. Could this be the one? Thought Naruto as his palms started to sweat a bit. Then he heard someone walk up to them and turned to see a man who was very tall with blue skin, and there is a large sword which is wrapped in bandages. But the one thing that Naruto noticed the most is that they are both wearing black coats with red clouds. This is hard to believe that this kid is the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, and he even thinks that he's a swordsman with those blades, said the blue-skinned man with a sadistic grin, which made Naruto's body tense. How does he know about Kuchin? It's supposed to be a secret, thought Naruto with narrowed eyes. Naruto-sama, proceed with extreme caution, as I can sense that their power is very high, plus they have more experience than you, said Tsunade. Naruto Uzumaki, you will be coming with us, said the raven-haired man. Naruto slowly walked out of the room and faced them with his hand in position so that he could quickly draw out either blades. Itachi, "Why don't you let me chop off a leg in case the kid tries to make a run for it," said the blue-skinned man as he grabbed the handle of the sword on his back and sensed Tora jump out of the window and guessed that she's gone to find Jiraiya. "Looks like Zabuza is right about you, Hashigami Kisame," said Naruto. "So you've met Zabuza? I thought he was still a missing nin," said Kisame with raised eyebrows. "No anymore, he's joined the Hidden Leaf and he told me how much of a shark you are, although you seem to be more of a codfish to me," said Naruto with a smirk which made Kisame get a tick mark on his head. "I've changed my mind, I'm not just going to chop off your leg but also that rotten tongue of yours," said Kisame as he slowly walked towards Naruto who stood ready to defend himself until Jiraiya shows up. Then Itachi, who had been silent this whole time, finally spoke up. "It's been a while, Sasuke." They turned to look behind Itachi and saw Sasuke standing there with his Sharingan active and glaring at Itachi with hatred in his eyes. Then he spoke in a cold and angry voice. "Itachi Uchiha." Kisame looked at Sasuke and started to smirk before speaking, "Well, another Sharingan user and he looks just like you." "Itachi, who is this kid?" "He's my little brother," Itachi quietly replied. "So you're the one who killed the whole clan and left the village," said Naruto with a glare. "No wonder why every time I look at Sasuke he always seems so cold to the others. It's just like you told me, I festered all my hatred throughout my life and trained myself. All of it just to fulfill my life's purpose, just to see your corpse at my feet." As Sasuke recalled the memories of what happened on the night that his clan members and parents were killed, he quickly made the hand signs and lightning appeared on his left hand, which Itachi instantly recognized it to be the Chidori. Then Sasuke charged straight at him with the intent to kill. "Sasuke, wait. Don't charge in it like that, it's too careless," shouted Naruto. "Shut up, he's mine," shouted Sasuke as he ran. "Naruto-sama, that boy's rage has clouded all sense of reason," said Tsunade. Just as Sasuke launched the Chidori at his brother, Itachi merely stretched his hand out to grab Sasuke by the wrist and redirected the technique to a wall, which resulted in it being destroyed, much to Naruto's shock. To be able to see the incoming attack and redirect it with minimal effort, thought Naruto. That is the ability of the Sharingan, to be able to see through attacks and illusions as well as copy or put one into an unbreakable illusion, and I speak from experience. I don't know the level of which his Sharingan is at, but whatever you do, don't look into his eyes or you might get captured in a genjutsu," said Kurama. "Got it, but I don't know how long I'll last against them, so I'll need your chakra, just enough to alert Pervy Sage to get over here," thought Naruto with Kurama's nod of affirmation. Then his body started to radiate with red chakra, which caught the attention of the two missing nins. Sasuke tried to break free of his brother's grip, but Itachi twisted it hard enough to break it, forcing him to his knees. "Sasuke, hang on for just a little bit," shouted Naruto. "I don't know what you're up, but I won't let it happen." Kisame swiped at the chakra, causing to disappear, much to Naruto's shock as he felt his chakra being drained. "Sorry brat, but my Samahata cuts through chakra and eat it." Naruto watched as something was wriggling through the bandages as if it was alive. Then he drew out Tsukiyatoshi and held it in the Oboro stance. Music start, Metal Gear Rising OST, "The only thing I know for real, Maniac Agenda Mix, it might be a pain to have you putting up a fight, so I think I'll cut your arms and your tongue, just try it, shark bait." Kisame dashed at Naruto and slashed at him. The blonde raised his blade horizontally to block it, but to his surprise he was getting pushed by Kisame, who was bearing down on him with just one hand on the sword. "Damn, this guy's strong and with one hand nonetheless. You got anything else to say with that rotten mouth, brat?" asked Kisame with a sneer. "Yes I do, and it's secret arts." Quick drawl, with blurring speed, Naruto quickly sheathed Tsukiyatoshi and drew out the Mume no Tamanu to unleash several slashes around him. But then he heard clangs of metal and saw Kisame jump back with parts of his coat cut and parts of the bandage on his sword slashed to reveal what looks like sharkskin. "That's quite an interesting sword that you've got there. Normal swords would have been shredded to pieces, so what's it called?" "It's a Muramasa blade by the name Mume no Tamanu." Hearing the name caused Kisame and Itachi to blink in surprise as they stared at the sword, which was releasing green flames in Naruto's hand. A Muramasa? How is it that you haven't gone mad from its curse? I don't even care. Water style, water shark bomb. A shark made of water shot out and raced towards Naruto, who stood at the ready. Secret arts, log chop. Naruto took a kendo stance, then raised his blade upwards before bringing it down right as the water shark drew close, splitting it into two, but Kisame appeared before him with the sword in mid-swing. Naruto raised to block it only for it to break from the blow and get knocked back with his clothes shredded and blood flowing out. Naruto painfully got up and sheathed the broken sword and watched Kisame approach him with a smirk on his face. Too bad about the sword, now what are you going to do? Naruto took out Tsukiyatoshi again and charged at the swordsman. Right as he got close he called out, "Secret arts, Gale." He jumped into the air and started spinning like a buzzsaw. Kisame raised his sword to block but was surprised to notice that he was slowly getting pushed back from the relentless strikes. Itachi was watching the battle with a critical eye while Sasuke watched with surprise at how Naruto was able to put up a fight with them and felt at how frustrated at his current level of strength. How can I kill Itachi with my current level of strength? I need more power, something that he has in abundance, thought Sasuke angrily. You little brat. Kisame pushed back, forcing Naruto to stop his spinning and land before slashing at him again in an attempt to break the sword. But Naruto raised his sword into the air and called out, "Secret arts, skull." Then a large purple orb which looked like a lot of human skulls were molded together appeared before him. When Samahata made contact it let out a loud screech which made Kisame jump back in surprise and saw steam rise out of the blade. Then Naruto sensed a presence from behind and turned to see a clone of Kisame rushing towards him and the original charging in an attempt to trap him. Then he formed a hand sign and called out, "Shadow Clone Jutsu." Two clones appeared on opposite sides and raised their blades to block the incoming attacks before he made his next move, Secret Arts, Moon Ring. He spun around on his axis like a top, releasing white rings that enlarged, slicing through his clones and Kisame's clone, which was a water clone, and the original was pushed back with a horizontal cut on his coat and was glaring at the blonde. Then Itachi walked up next to Kisame while looking at Naruto. "It's best that we work together to capture him, he's much different from the reports that we received." Hearing this, Naruto took a few steps back, with Itachi joining in. I can hold them off until Pervy Sage gets here, especially with how small this place is." Then the bracelet glowed brightly and he had a vision, seeing a white-haired man wearing a red coat with a large sword on his back and wielding two guns while engaging what looks to be demons with a cocky grin on his face. Naruto placed Tsukiyatoshi back in its sheath before raising the bracelet up and channeling his chakra into it before calling out, "Devil May Cry." There was a bright glow before it faded to reveal a sword on his back and two handguns on the holsters on his waist. It is a silver sword with the blade being long and double-edged with the forward-facing edge curving outward to form the guard. The handguard is heavily designed with rings slanting down it and revising at its center with a round piece at the pommel. At his holsters is a black gun and a white one that both share the same design of stylized grips twisting into sharp points. Naruto smirked as he stared at the shocked looks on their faces before grabbing the blade from his back and letting clang on the floor. "This sword and I share one thing in common, we both love to start a rebellion." Then he charged with the sword dragging on the floor and Kisame running to meet him with a crazed smirk on his face. They continuously clashed swords with neither side giving an edge to the other, they pushing each other with their swords trying overpower with Naruto channeling chakra into his muscles when he heard Tsunade warned of an attack coming from behind. Quickly deflecting the sword to the side, Naruto spun around and stabbed Rebellion to the ground before taking ebony and ivory from the holsters and let loose a volley of bullets. Kisame twirled his sword like a propeller to block the bullets and Itachi charged at Naruto while dodging and deflecting the bullets and his kunai. Naruto then tossed ivory into the air and caught it with his teeth before grabbing Rebellion and engaging Itachi in close with a gun and sword with a combo of swordplay and gunkata. Damn, that Sharingan is getting annoying to land a hit. If Itachi is this strong then I've got a long way to go if I'm to go up against Madara Uchiha, thought Naruto. "Naruto-kun, Kisame is coming in for an attack," shouted Kurama. Naruto deflected Itachi's kunai and slid past him to stand in between them, then he sheathed rebellion and took ivory from his mouth before pointing each gun at the other, twosome shot, then he started releasing a rapid fire of bullets while taking different positions to fire from many angles preventing them from getting any closer to him. I really owe Deadpool Sensei for this kind of training. True, but I still question his sanity, said Kurama with a sweat drop as she thought back on how the merc with the mouth acted when he was around. Music end. Hey, I'm impressed that you could hold us off, but I wonder how long you'll last, smirked Kisame, who was obviously enjoying the battle while Itachi silently stared at him, but Naruto made sure not to look into his eyes. I hate to admit it, but I'm running out of stamina with fighting two missing nins with high ranks. Damn it, pervy sage, where the hell are you? Thought Naruto. At that moment, there was a puff of smoke and heard a voice which was quite familiar to Naruto, much to his relief and annoyance. Jiraiya, the Toad Sage, has arrived to save the day and make the women swoon with love at my heroics. As you can see, your plans of seduction has failed, for only rare beauties fall for me. The smoke cleared to reveal Jiraiya in a kabuki pose, and Tora was standing next to him with a look of annoyance on her face. It's about time that you got here, pervy sage. I didn't know how long I would have lasted, said Naruto while still aiming the guns at Kisame and Itachi. Sorry about that, Naruto. Turns out that the lady was under a genjutsu which must have been placed on her by one of them. They must have done it in an attempt to separate us. Turns out they were after me and her. I thought as much, said Jiraiya as he stepped forward. Now I see how Kakashi knew. It's because you told him, said Itachi. Hearing the name, Naruto turned and aimed both guns at Itachi with anger. What did you do to Kakashi-ni? If anything had happened to him, I'm gonna turn you into Swiss cheese with ebony and ivory. Itachi ignored him and continued to talk. Naruto is the price that we're after and we will have him. Sorry, but there's no way you're gonna get my godson. I rather find it convenient that I can kill you both and collect information at the same time, said Jiraiya. Stay out of this. Everyone turned to see Sasuke struggling to his feet. I'm the one who's supposed to kill him, no one else. I won't be denied my purpose. I have no interest in you right now, said Itachi. Then I'll make you get interested. Sasuke attacked with his other arm, but Itachi simply dodged and backhanded him hard enough to send him flying to the other side of the hall. Then he appeared before Sasuke and grabbed his head to look into his eyes. Sasuke screamed out loud before losing consciousness. You bastard! Doing that to your own brother, I won't let you get away with this. Awakening, Devil Trigger. Naruto shouted in anger, his spiky hair flushed white and his eyes turned red with red veins around it and emitted a blood-red aura from his body. Stinger! He lunged forward with rebellion before him at high speed, but Itachi let go of Sasuke and moved out of the way. What kind of power is this? This can't be that of the Kyuubi, shouted Kisame. Of course not, but it's a power that will make your organization tread carefully when around him, said Jiraiya with a smirk. Fire style, Grand Fireball. Itachi launched a large ball of flame at the blonde. Naruto twirled the blade and held it in reverse as it glowed white. Drive. He then swung it, releasing a shockwave powerful enough to cut through the fireball and keep on going. The missing nins jumped out of the way and Jiraiya appeared next to Naruto with the body flicker jutsu, who sheathed rebellion and took out ebony and ivory, which started to glow red. Charge shot, before releasing two red projectiles that exploded when they drew close to Itachi and Kisame. The smoke cleared to reveal the hall destroyed and the missing nins gone. Naruto-kun, they got away, said Kurama. Naruto exited from the Devil Trigger mode and dispelled the weapons before falling to his knees while panting heavily from exhaustion. Jiraiya and Tora ran over to check if he was okay. Naruto, are you alright? Asked Jiraiya worriedly. I'm just worn out from fighting those guys, and I'm lucky that they haven't gone all out on me as far as I can tell, said Naruto. You're right about that, as they are ranked missing ninjas on the bingo book. Not only that, but your body needs to recover. Most weapons are wielded by some heroes that aren't truly human, so there are chances of your body getting strained from using them, said Tsunade. Who are those guys working for and what do they want to do with Kachin? Asked Naruto. We'll talk about it later, but first we'll have to check on Sasuke, said Jiraiya. Later on, Guy showed up to carry Sasuke back to the village, although Naruto and the others found it funny when he mistook Jiraiya for an enemy and ambushed him with a kick to the face. Guy reported that Itachi and Kisame came to village to look for Naruto before coming here and used the same jutsu on Kakashi, which made Naruto worry. Then Jiraiya mentioned that Tsunade is one of the best medical specialists and should be able to heal Sasuke, Kakashi and possibly Lee, giving them another reason for them to search for her. Guy wished them luck and returned to the village while Naruto, Tora and Jiraiya continued on the road to find the next Hokage. Meanwhile, in an unknown town, a blonde-haired woman wearing a green vest with the kanji "gamble" written on it sits in a casino playing a roulette machine with a raven-haired woman in a kimono and sandals who was carrying a pig who was wearing a vest and necklace. Next to her are trays full of tokens that she won from the roulette machine, and everyone had gathered to watch her winning streak. "Looks like your luck has finally come around, Tsunade," said the raven-haired girl cheerfully, with the pig squealing in agreement. But instead of being happy, the blonde-haired woman was frowning. "I never get a hit like this big, this gives me a bad feeling that something's about to happen." On the road, two people were walking towards a town, and they are not Naruto and Jiraiya but the Orochimaru and his right-hand man Kabuto. "Are you sure that Tsunade would heal your arms?" asked Kabuto. "Of course she will, especially if I give her the one thing that she desires the most," said Orochimaru with an evil smile, "although it won't be exactly what she wants." Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. Guys, make sure to help the author by visiting the link in the description. This is Fox Sage, and I'm signing off.